What is the one power and what can it do? What effects do the two halves have and what dangers do they hold? The one power, used in the Wheel of Time, allows a channeler to command energy that changes the world around them. It is split into two halves, one male, one female. The male half is called side in and the female half side out. You can only channel the energy linked to your sex, and also due to this, you cannot teach the opposite sex to command the energy of your own. There is an endless source of this energy, and it comes from the true force, the driving force of creation. The two halves work in concert and opposition to provide this force. When used, it allows the channeler to make a temporary change to the world, which lasts for the time the channeler wills it to, or when the weave is tied off, the effect will remain once the caster has left the area. These changes are called weaves. There are 5 different ones that can be manipulated through the one power: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Each has their own effects linked to them, and they can be used individually, such as the fire weave to cast a fireball. They can also be used in combination, so earth and fire can be used to cast riven earth. This combination will cause the earth to erupt and explode. I'll do a separate video on the different weaves and what they can do. See you there. In most cases, a channeler must watch another create a weave and then practice it themselves, until, like most real skills, you can recreate it from memory through experience. Weaves can be hidden from other channelers. If the channeler unweaves or picks apart the knots of the thread put into the weave, in this case, the weave will be hidden. Each sex has a natural bias towards a particular set of weaves. Men are stronger with fire and earth, but women have a better affinity for air and water. Spirit is equal for both. In the rare case that a channeler can see how a weave was formed, then it can also be undone. This means you have to pull at the threads one at a time. When the first thread has been removed, there are 2 choices: to continue unweaving the other threads, or letting the weave fall without control. Without that control, there is danger. This can range from a flash of light to an explosion. The effect you get is random and adds to the danger the channeler places themselves in. The female half of the true power, Saidar, has its own personality. Like a river in a storm, it will bend to your will, but the channeler needs to submit to its power. Otherwise, you will get carried away by it. Upon embracing the power, you can then guide the flow of power to get what you desired from your weave. The use of Saidar can be felt by other female channelers. When they are touching the source, this appears as a white glowing aura around them. The side-in half is a torrent of untamed raw force and must be bent through strength of will, or like Saidar, it will overwhelm you. For a man to seize the power, he must get the power to submit to him. Using the power is like using a weapon. Getting the power to do as you command. One man can sense another's side in, but there is no visibility, but a sense of menace. Due to points I will not spoil here, in a previous turning of the wheel, a taint was set on the male half of the one power. In the current age, male channelers who learn to use side in are over time driven mad. In the long term, the body wastes away and rots. There are exceptions to all of the blow rules, so take them as general, but there are differences between male and female channelers. In terms of the amount of power, men can hold a lot more, but female channelers will have more dexterity with the power. When working with other female channelers, they can start a link for the women to form a circle, a way to combine powers, but men must have their circle of channelers helped by a female. But the circle of women are limited in another way. They can weave flows together with great dexterity, but to increase that number beyond the number 13 is not possible without men added to it. When they do work in this way, they are much stronger than single people or groups of the same sex. The two powers resonate with each other to accomplish this. Channeling can be dangerous. Some channelers are born with a spark in them. This will drive them to touch the source, whether they are willing or not. Without the training groups such as the Aes Sedai give, the person with the spark will have no control over their abilities, and there is a high mortality rate amongst those people. Without training, the channeling can cause effects like a fever in the body or someone choosing to take risks that they would not normally do. Even when they do survive, it comes at a cost. They might be using the power and make changes without even realizing they are doing it. They can also have a block, so when they might try to consciously channel it, it is limited. The block could be you might have to be very angry to call on the one power, for example. Even to those trained, it can be dangerous. Having that much power going through you has an addictive effect, and if a channeler draws too much power into themselves, it can kill them or make themselves brain dead. There is also what some channelers would consider a worse fate. Using too much power can burn the channeling away entirely. There is also another way someone can lose the ability to channel. By another's will this time. It is called stilling when done to a female channeler and gentling a man. This would be carried out by other channelers to an individual. After the individual can feel the presence of their sex's energy, but not access it, and this leads in some to a loss of their will to live. Thank you for checking out my video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications.